In the year 1411, if you were a merchant in the bustling port of Dordrecht, this was the ultimate symbol of wealth. It's called a golden shield, but the locals had a more colorful name for it, the Klinckaert. Why Klinckaert, you may ask? Because when you dropped it on a table, it didn't just thud, it clinked. The clear ringing sound was the 15th century version of a security check, proving you were holding high quality gold and not a cheap imitation. In 1411, this wasn't just a big coin, it was the highest denomination available. Now meet the man behind this coin. This portrait shows Willem VI, a prince of the house of Wittelbach. He wasn't just a local lord, he was a powerhouse within the Holy Roman Empire, holding the title of Count of Holland, Zeeland and Hainaut. Now if you take a look at this map, the red territory represents his primary domain in 1411. This was the gateway to Western Europe. By controlling the mouth of the Rhine and the Maas rivers, Willem sat on the most lucrative toll points in the empire, which of course made Holland very wealthy. On the front of the coin we see Willem seated on a magnificent Gothic throne, wearing a crown and holding a sword. The sword represents his justice and his military might as a duke. Then notice the shield at his side. It's quartered, showing the Bavarian diamonds alongside the Lion of Holland. It's this literal golden shield that gave the coin its name. But what was this coin actually worth to your average person? In bread, for instance, one of these could buy you roughly 450 kilograms of rye bread. To put that into perspective, that's enough to feed one person for an entire year. If you were thirsty, a single Klinckaert was worth about 250 liters of everyday beer, and in labor, while a master craftsman might earn this in 2 to 3 weeks, an average laborer would have to work for more than a month to earn just one. For most people, this coin wasn't something you would spend. It was something you only saw in the hands of the taxman or a wealthy merchant. So if the average person rarely touched the Klinckaert, who actually used them? These were the coins of the big merchants and the high nobility. While a farmer might use silver to buy a cow, the golden Klinckaert was the ultimate tool for international trade. If a merchant in Dordrecht was importing massive shipments of luxury Flemish cloth or high-end timber from the Baltic, they didn't want to lug around heavy chests filled with thousands of silver pennies. They wanted a small, high-valued pouch of these gold shields. Because of its reliable gold content and its signature clink, it became the trusted gold standard of the region. That's why these were perfect for trade between countries or for big merchants buying their products. The obverse depicts Willem VI van Beieren, as I already previously mentioned, with the text on the coin as follows: Gulemus Dux Commes Hollandia et Zeelandia, which in English translates to William, Duke, Count of Holland and Zeeland. The back features an intricate floral cross inside a decorative polylobe. The Latin inscription reads, Christus vincit, Christus regnet, Christus imperat. This translates to, Christ conquers, Christ reigns, Christ commands. In 1411, Willem's Klinckaert weighed about 3.7 grams, with a gold purity of around 97 to 98%. These coins were also used as a reference point for trade throughout the Holy Roman Empire. So if you were buying big amounts of Flemish cloth, or let's say German wine, you would calculate the price in golden shields. But Willem's reign was an end of an era. In 1417, his sudden death triggered a brutal succession crisis for his daughter Jacoba van Beieren. For years, the so-called Hoeks and Cots fought for control of these lands. In the end, the pressure was too much. The power shifted from Willem's family to the rising stars of Europe, the Dukes of Burgundy. As the Burgundians took over, they introduced their own currency, like the Philippesgulden, which faded out the Klinckaert. So even though the Klinckaert may have left the markets a long time ago, it still remains a testament of a time when a single clink meant instant recognition. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next GW Coins video.